Ever wondered if the air inside your safe home is actually worse than the air outside on a busy street? Today's lineup might surprise you, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which monitor you can trust to keep your family breathing cleaner air. In this video, 7 of the best home air quality monitors are going head-to-head. These devices track things like CO2, particulate matter, VOCs, humidity, temperature, and in one case, even radon. But they don't all get it right in the same way. Number 7. SwitchBot Meter Pro CO2. This is a compact 5-in-1 smart sensor that focuses on CO2, temperature, and humidity with a big, easy-to-read 3.6-inch display. In everyday use, the standout is the fast CO2 feedback. Thanks to NDIR technology, readings can update as often as every second when it's plugged in, so you immediately see the effect of opening a window or turning on a fan. The Swiss-made sensors for temperature and humidity feel precise in normal room conditions, and the comfort indicators make it very obvious when the room is getting stuffy. Where this monitor really shows its strength is in smart home integration. Using the SwitchBot app, you get data logging, customizable alerts, and the ability to connect through a SwitchBot hub to platforms like Matter and popular voice assistants. In practice, that means you can automate actions. For example, trigger a smart plug on an air purifier when CO2 or humidity crosses a threshold, which feels genuinely useful once you've set it up once or twice. For a compact device, it slides into a smart home ecosystem with very little friction. However, the SwitchBot Meter Pro CO2 is quite focused in what it measures. You are getting CO2, temperature, and humidity, plus a general air quality indication, but not dedicated PM2.5 or VOC sensors like some of the higher-ranked devices. That means it's great for monitoring stale air and ventilation, but it won't tell you directly about things like smoke particles or cooking aerosols, which can be just as important for health. Number 6. Bonoch AK22A. This item swings to the opposite extreme with a throw-everything-in approach, a 16-in-1 indoor air quality monitor with a large 7-inch display. It tracks CO2, PM2.5, PM10, PM10, formaldehyde, HCHO, total VOCs, temperature, humidity, multiple AQI indices, and more, giving you a dashboard-style view of almost every indoor pollutant you can think of. If you like having a control center for your home environment, this is the first device in the lineup that really feels like a mini air quality station. In daily use, that big screen is genuinely helpful. The color-coded AQI bars, numerical values, and visual alerts make it simple to see when something is off, whether it's a spike in VOCs after cleaning or PM levels going up when you cook. The external sensor and airflow design are built to pull in enough air for consistent sampling, and the semiconductor and MOS sensors keep latency low, so you're not waiting minutes to see a response. For families or shared spaces, that visibility alone can change behavior. People learn to open windows earlier or avoid harsh cleaners once they see the numbers. However, over time, a few weaknesses become noticeable. First, the internal rechargeable 2500 mAh battery only gives you around 8 hours of cordless runtime, so in reality, this is almost always plugged in. That's not necessarily a deal breaker, but it does limit where you can place it if outlets are scarce, and reduces the flexibility compared to some of the battery-centric monitors that can sit anywhere for days or weeks. 5. Breathe BTL 4001 Airmonitor Plus. This strikes a more focused balance between multi-sensor capability and everyday practicality. This monitor tracks PM1, PM2.5, PM10, CO2s, formaldehyde, HCHO, temperature, and humidity, giving you a complete picture of particulate and gas-based pollutants. Instead of trying to cram in dozens of metrics, it concentrates on the ones that most directly affect real-world comfort and health. In use, the particulate monitoring stands out. The dedicated laser particle sensor measures a broad range from 0 to 1,000 micrograms per meter square, with good accuracy across both low and high pollution levels. That makes it very helpful for tracking things like wildfire smoke, urban pollution drifting indoors, or even just how effective your air purifier really is. Being able to see PM1, not just PM2.5, also gives insight into the ultrafine particles that go deepest into the lungs. The gas sensing side is equally useful for day-to-day living. CO2 levels show how quickly a room becomes stuffy, while TVOC and HCHO readings highlight emissions from new furniture, paints, or cleaning sprays. Coupled with temperature and humidity, the data helps you fine-tune when to open windows, when to run the purifier, and when to limit certain activities indoors. Over time, the pattern of how your home breathes becomes very clear. What nudges the breathe into the middle of the pack rather than the very top is less about capability and more about ecosystem and refinement. 4. GoveeLife H5106. This is a smart air quality monitor that leans into connectivity and fast, responsive readings. It tracks PM2.5, temperature, and humidity, and is designed to integrate tightly with the Govee Home app and other Govee smart appliances. On paper, this looks simpler than some competitors, but in practice it feels very refined for what it does. The measurement performance is a clear, strong point. PM2.5 readings offer good accuracy, with error margins tailored for both low and high concentration ranges, and data refreshes every 2 seconds, giving almost real-time feedback. Temperature accuracy is around 0.3 degrees, and humidity about 0.3% RH, which is more than enough for home monitoring and makes comfort trends easy to spot. When you cook, open a window, or start an air purifier, the reaction on the display is quick and reassuring. Where the H5106 really comes alive is in its smart features. Through Wi-Fi and the Govee Home app, you can track historical data, receive alerts, and pair the monitor with Govee air purifiers, humidifiers, and dehumidifiers so they respond automatically to air changes. For example, you can have the purifier ramp up when PM2.5 crosses a set threshold, or have a humidifier kick in when the air gets too dry overnight, all driven by this little monitor sitting quietly on a shelf. The main limitation is that it only measures 3 parameters. You do not get CO2 or VOC data, which are often just as important as particulate matter when it comes to issues like drowsiness, headaches, or chemical exposure. 3. Temtop M10 This is a compact yet surprisingly capable smart monitor that covers PM2.5, CO2, VOCs, temperature, and humidity in one unit. It uses an e-ink display and an energy-efficient algorithm to deliver up to about 60 days of battery life, which is a huge advantage if you like moving the monitor between rooms. This makes it one of the most portable options on the list, while still feeling like a serious instrument rather than a gadget. The sensor quality holds up well over everyday use. Advanced internal sensors track pollutants and conditions with enough precision that you can confidently rely on the trends to guide ventilation and purifier use. CO2 readings tend to update roughly every 5 seconds when running on battery, giving you a fairly dynamic sense of how quickly a room becomes stuffy. When the unit is powered, the particulate readings speed up, making it more responsive during events like cooking or vacuuming. What stands out about the M10 Plus is how approachable it is. The interface is clean, the icons are easy to read, and the Temtop app gives access to real-time data, historical trends, and calibration tools. There are no complicated menus to wade through. It gives you the essentials in a way that invites you to check in regularly rather than ignore it on the wall. For anyone new to air quality monitoring, that low friction matters. There are a couple of quirks worth mentioning. 2. Qingping CGS2. This is a beautifully designed air quality monitor that behaves like a modern smart display for your indoor environment. It features a bright 4-inch IPS touchscreen with a high 254 ppi resolution, so readings are crisp, colorful, and visible from across the room. The auto-adjusting brightness ensures it is readable during the day but not disruptive at night, making it ideal for bedrooms and living spaces. Under the hood, the CGS2 is impressively sophisticated. It uses a laser particle sensor with a clever optical setup and a sensitive photodetector to measure both PM2.5 and PM10 accurately, with the ability to distinguish between particle sizes. This matters when you care about both fine particles that reach deep into the lungs and larger dust that affects comfort and allergies. The real innovation is that the PM sensor is replaceable, so as dust accumulation slowly wears it down over the years, you can swap it out and keep the monitor accurate for the long term. Beyond particulates, the Qingping also measures VOC, temperature, humidity, and even noise levels, giving a richer picture of your indoor environment. The VOC metrics capture a broad range of volatile organic compounds, helping you detect emissions from cleaners, paints, and furnishings. The interface uses color-coded indicators and a very intuitive layout, so you know at a glance whether your air is clean, borderline, or poor without decoding numbers. Number 1. Airthings 2960 View Plus. This is the most comprehensive home air quality monitor in this lineup, and arguably one of the best all-around options on the market. This device measures particulate matter, PM1 and PM2.5, radon, CO2, VOCs, temperature, humidity, and air pressure in a single battery or USB-powered unit. If you want a single monitor that touches nearly every major indoor air concern, this is it. The sensor suite is what sets the View Plus apart. Where most monitors stop at PM2.5, this one also tracks PM1, giving more insight into ultrafine particles. Radon monitoring is a rare and highly valuable feature, especially in areas where radon seepage from the ground is a concern, since long-term exposure is linked to serious health risks. Combined with CO2, VOCs, and climate measurements, it offers a complete, multi-dimensional view of your indoor air over both the short and long term. The display and design are deliberately calm. The e-paper screen is customizable, so you can choose which sensors appear on the front, and a simple color-coded glow indicator, red, yellow, green, gives at-a-glance feedback without screaming for attention. The low-power nature of the display and sensors lets the unit run on batteries for up to about 2 years, or you can plug it in with USB if you prefer. That flexibility makes it easy to mount in the best location rather than near the nearest outlet. Final thought. That's all for today, folks.